in a bowl.
He's wandering away.
Yeah, wandering around again.
You do know what you're doing.
A little bit.
All right, you getting ready?
I'm getting ready. We're gonna have some cooking here tonight. This is another one of these like 30-minute skillet dinners. I just love these, particularly honestly for 2 people. It's just really great. Now you can honestly, I'll put the recipe up. You could make this for a lot bigger. Take a big rondeau pot. I almost did it tonight, but I just don't have enough ingredients to make a big pot of it. I am having company over. My brother and his wife, Mike and Sharon, are coming over for dinner. Their air conditioner broke on their house. Brand new air con, about a year or 2 old. And so they got some parts on order, and I hear they're hard to get parts right now on any air conditioning thing. I don't know what that's all about.
And Florida without the air conditioner is like Nebraska without the heater in the winter.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't want that at all.
Right.
No, you need to figure out a different place to live or whatever. So anyhow, they're coming down to the other apartment that we have down here. They have down here rather, because it's air-conned, and they're about an hour north of me normally. And so I told them I'd cook dinner for them. And I think I may even cook a second meal for them while they're down here this weekend. And I'll videotape that. This is an easy one though. And let me tell you, this is going to be like a 1 skillet shrimp deal. It's got orzo, it's got shrimp, it's just gonna be good. I've got myself about a pound, just slightly over a pound of deveined, and also I took the tail off shrimp, and we're gonna cook that up. I'm gonna do most of my videotaping with you over here at the stove, but let me just show you what I do have going on. I've got 2 medium shallots, and I've got those. I've got to get those chopped down, and you want those finely chopped. I use shallots a lot. I love the taste of them. I like the way they just are incorporated into the food, and you can chop them down pretty small. And they're just a lovely onion.
They don't have a really strong.
They don't have like a white onion or even a yellow onion strength. They're very much more mild in my opinion, and yet they really flavor your meal pretty good, honestly. And so I like them. And I'm just chopping these down a little bit and get these ready. And let me do another one here. In fact, I got to do both of these shallots.
You know what I like about a shrimp dinner?
What is it?
It's not heavy.
No, that's the thing. You get up from the table and you're going, oh, that was really nice. Yeah,
right.
I know it. And so, yeah, certainly beef can be a little heavy that way. Even, you know, the pork chops that we did a few weeks ago, that can get a little heavy, depending. The other thing that is working for you and I, Sue, is I'm not doing a lot of like heavy starches as a side dish or anything like that. Though tonight I am doing orzo. By the way, do you know, is orzo considered? Here's a shallot. That's what a shallot looks like, in case you were wondering. And just take the top skin off here. I'm taking probably a little bit more than I need, but just getting it down.
Orzo's a pasta.
Yeah, it's a pasta. So it is a starch, isn't it? Yeah. So there we go. I just answered my own question. But first.
Ooh, what's that?
You know what? I leaned up against this crazy dishwasher. Sorry about that.
We got a new dishwasher, and
the function buttons are all in the front.
All on the front.
So I lean up against it, and it goes off and beeps at me and talks to me. Well, it hasn't talked yet, but that was close enough.
So it doesn't do it like that other thing you do?
No. Don't even say her name. But orzo, why is it orzo? To me, you know what, it's because I like pasta, number one, but orzo to me always seems so light and not really like a potato or like a starch. I never think of it that way. I probably should.
A lot of people think it's rice when they see it in a dish.
I know it, because it looks like
rice.
A little bit like it in the thing.
Yeah. And you usually brown it before you cook it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is going to be all in 1 skillet. Now I do have, like I said, 2 medium shallots here. I'm going to do some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to do about 1/8 of a cup on that. Recipe calls for 1/4 cup, but we'll use the other half here in a little bit. And it calls for a 1/2 stick or a 1/4 cup of butter, but we start with a half. I'm going to take this over here And why don't you meet me over at the stove and we'll get things going here, okay?
Okay.
All right, I know some of you are looking at my legs.
No, I didn't show them. I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, good. Please don't. It's just too hot to have long pants on.
No, but you do have shoes on.
I have flip flops on. Yes. So those of you that were concerned about my falling arches, they're not falling tonight. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to get that going under some heat. Got a nice deep skillet here. Could have done it in the cast iron. I looked at doing this in a big rondeau pot that I have, but I only really pull that out when I've got everybody from our tribe down here. And so it's just the 4 of us. I've got plenty of shrimp. I've got plenty of orzo. It's only going to call for 3 cups of a vegetable broth, and I'll sort of walk you through this as I go through it myself. But let's get this all melted up, and then as this does, I'm going to go ahead and put the shallots, the chopped shallots in here. We're going to get those all browned up, and then we'll start working on adding some more items. So I'll be back to you when this gets a little steamed up here. Okay, my oil and butter combination is heating up here nicely. So I'm going to dump my shallots in, and honestly, you're going to cook these. By the way, the butter needs to be unsalted. You typically, when I cook, I like to use unsalted butter for everything because I like to add my own salt to my taste. And if you put the regular salted butter in, well, it's what it is. It's already buttered, and then you don't have control over the taste as much. And then if the recipe calls for adding salt, you add some salt. Now it's way too salty. So anyhow, here's the shallots first. And you want to get these cooking for about 4 minutes, so that they all soften up in that beautiful oil and butter. Everything goes good with oil and with butter, of course.
That's oil and butter.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of recipes call for the combination because they have 2 different breakdown points, and they have 2 different flavors, and it's all just real good. By the way, people ask what kind of butter do I use. I buy almost exclusively Kerrygold, that Irish Kerrygold butter, both the salted and the unsalted. I just love the creaminess of it. And I'm the kind of guy that I'll tell you, I'm always going to go for a better ingredient or a little bit more expensive ingredient if it tastes right and if it is right. The price isn't the issue, it's the quality. And I like a good quality because I feel like I can taste the difference so often. Now, once this softens a little bit, I'm going to add, it's a fish dish, of course, I'm going to add, excuse me, about a half a cup of white wine. And really, you can use any wine that you would drink or that you would have around. Don't certainly use a cooking wine or anything like that. But it's a half cup of white wine, and then we'll continue to cook this until the liquid is going to be reduced by about half. So you can sort of just judge this thing for yourself. You had about 5. I'm going to go down to 4.5 here. So it's been a minute or so, a minute and a half, and I'm going to let this just go a little bit longer. I want them to be nice and soft. And the smell. I wish we did have. Some of you always ask for smell-o-vision on YouTube or whatever. I wish there was such a thing because it does smell delicious in here.
It always smells good when you're
when I'm cooking
onions.
Yeah. And my sister-in-law called me, and she's bringing some asparagus she found, and so she's going to get that ready. I've got a tray for her to put that on, and she's going to put that under the broiler so that we have a vegetable with this as well. And then I made I had some rhubarb that I found. Some of the last of the season. I grabbed some, cut it down, and I made a nice rhubarb sauce. And so tonight we're indulging. We don't hardly ever have dessert, but she's going to stop and get some vanilla ice cream. I do the lactose free stuff, and we put a nice plop of rhubarb sauce on top. Oh, it's so good.
That'll be good.
Oh, it'll be so good. So that's cooking so nice. So those about 3 minutes, and they've gotten soft. So now I'm going to add my half a cup of wine. For those of you that are watching, including my mother, the wine does cook off. The alcohol cooks off. So
definitely.
Yeah. So don't write me and tell me.
It does add a cool flavor.
But it does add a delicious flavor, and particularly white wine with a chicken or shrimp, you know, you're gonna get that kind of a. So let this continue to cook until that is reduced by about half as far as volume. And then actually what I'm going to do, once that is reduced, I'm going to take about 3 tablespoons of it, and I'm going to put it in a bowl. Let me.
He's wandering away.
Yeah, I'm wandering around again. Just keep it on there, and I'll be back at you here in a second. I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons in this bowl of some of that shallot wine mixture right there. And then we're going to do some more with oil and with the butter left over. I've got that right here. And we're going to sort of whisk that little reserve out, that I pull out rather. We're going to whisk that with the oil and butter, and we're going to just keep doing all sorts of things to it. And then in this that's remaining, we're going to put the orzo in along with the broth.
So this is an easy one. Huh?
This is so easy. This is a 20-30 minute meal when you get done.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
It doesn't, and it's so good. And like, look at, I'm having company with it, and it'll feed company. And I'll guarantee you they'll come in. I'll put a little parsley on, a little chives on, make it, ooh, and they'll come in and go, "Oh my God, this is so wonderful." You watch, see if they don't. Yeah. Oh, that smells so good. Why does my nose run when
you cook?
Well, you know what? I think it's the shallots, actually.
Yeah, it's onions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be sneezing probably.
Yeah, you probably would. Anyhow, I like these easy weeknight meals, and if you've got the ingredients, and you should have all the ingredients. Now look at, it's going to call for 6 cloves of garlic, minced, and then you take the recipe asks for like a garlic paste out of 6 cloves. Well, I happen to have garlic paste here, so I'm not going to do it. But if you don't have garlic paste, take 6 cloves, mince it real good, and then take the back of your knife, you know, heavy knife, and smear it like that kind of thing, and that'll make a paste. And it's just to coat all of the of what you're cooking. It does a little bit better job than having pieces of garlic in there. And so that's sort of the idea. Oh, that's reducing really nice. Almost ready. You getting that, Sue, on video?
You're more patient than I am. I probably would have stopped
by now. No, you just want to, and there's no real point, but you can tell it's a little thicker. It's a little bit more reduced, the liquid parts, okay?
Yeah.
See that? Nice. So I'm going to, again, turn that down a little bit. I always sort of switch the electric. It's hard to control the electric. It's taken me years on this stove to sort of get used to it. We need some rain down here.
Yeah.
But we've had it on and off a little bit, so everything's still fairly green out there.
How's your mom?
Mom's doing good. Yeah, she's in rehab at a facility, and they're working her every day. I don't know if she's enjoying it, but they're working her, and she needs to be worked. Get back on her strength and get back.
Well, rehab always helps you feel better and get better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of that. There's 2, and I'll do about a half of one here. And then there we go. Just like that. And I'll put that there. And then we're going to put the oil, rest of the oil, and the rest of the butter in there. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that here in a second. All right. Now, while I've got this, I'm going to take care of this in a second. While I've got this going, I want to get this moving with the orzo. I'm going to put in now 3 cups, and I just bought from Publix vegetable stock. I'm going to put in 3 cups of vegetable stock in here. You could use chicken if that's all you had. I almost did it, and I happen to have some vegetable that I bought. So, and this should be the whole box almost. Or is there 4 cups in here? I think there's 4 cups. Yeah, there's 4 cups in here, but I only need 3. Okay, and what you're going to do now is let that come up to temperature, and you really want it to boil a little bit in there. Give me a second here. So I do want, before I add the orzo, which is going to be next, and about 1 teaspoon of salt that I'm going to put in here. Before I do that, I want this to come up to a boil. So bring your heat up and let that get up to a boil. Now that broth was at a room temperature, so it shouldn't take too long. In the meantime, what I'm going to do here, I am going to take my whisk. I'll show you. And I'm going to whisk this together here with this butter. I should have cut the butter down, but let's just do it this way.
So I was wrong. You don't have to brown the orzo this time.
No, you don't brown it this time. Sometimes you do. You're right.
Yeah, every one I've done, you have to brown it first.
Mm-hmm. So this is going to be
the butter
nice.
could have been softer.
Well, the butter definitely could have been softer, but if I had cut it down, like, you know, and done right the first time, I wouldn't have this clump of butter. But it'll go, because that's hot reserve there, you know, so it's slowly melting it. And I just want it all to get together here. Have a nice time. And we're going to add a little bit of salt in here, and then we're also going to add some of the garlic paste that I talked to you about. 6 tablespoons of the teaspoons, not 6 tablespoons.
Oh, I wondered about that.
Oh, did I say tablespoons earlier?
Did.
Oh man, teaspoons.
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes I talk and I forget what I'm saying, or I don't say it right. The one that is correct is the
written
one. Yeah, don't always go by what I say.
Yeah, well, it's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
2 teaspoons to a tablespoon.
Yes,
so.
but just understand, I'm a professional cook. And I just get beside myself with the creativity.
Yes, right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
Have you done this recipe before?
That's just so good. Look at this. No, I never have. I don't do that. You know that.
I know.
Okay, now we're going to reduce that down. That's at boiling right there. And we're going to add in our orzo in a teaspoon of salt. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be so good. And let's get that all stirred around so nothing's burning or anything like that. And then, let me get my teaspoon, here it is, of salt.
Sure it's not a tablespoon?
No. All
right.
A teaspoon of salt. Tablespoon would be a lot.
It sure would.
Okay, and we're gonna just mix that around. And we're going to let that get, that's nice, it's been reduced, and we're gonna cover that and let that cook. While that's cooking, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, I set Alexa to give me a 10-minute timer. I want that to cook at a low, medium heat, covered, the orzo for about 10 minutes, and then we'll check it. But while that's doing that, here's what we're going to do over here. First off, there's the paste. I'm sort of not making my own. I've got this already done, so why not? And in fact, this is brand new, so let's take this off, and we're going to do 6. Because on the side of the package here, on the side of this tube, it tells me, it's just wonderful. This makes life so easy. It says, in cooking, use 1 teaspoon of paste to replace 1 medium clove. Well, this recipe called, for 6 cloves, so I'm going to do 6 teaspoons. And here we go. There's my teaspoon thing. And by the way, let me just show you what the paste looks like. This is, if you're going to crush your own, that's what it should sort of look like, just like that, okay? It's just a paste. So there's 1, there's 2. This makes it a little easier. There's 4.
So you could actually get it that smooth, you think?
Huh?
You could get it that smooth by doing it yourself?
Yeah. You really can if you work your hard knife with it. Yeah, and there's 6. And that's going to be good, just like that. Oh, and my company is here.
Yeah.
So
they just walk in.
Hopefully they brought good gifts, because you always should bring the host and the hostess a great gift. Well, they brought asparagus and vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, and a bottle of wine.
Oh, there you go.
We used the wine already.
We did already.
Well, I cooked with it. Okay, and then to this mixture, I'm adding a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. I'm going to add some lemon zest, about 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. So that's about 1 lemon that you're going to do here. And then we're going to also add to this mixture 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh squeezed. And so we'll get that all going here and then stir it all up, and we'll show you what we do next. Okay, as you can see, 1 tablespoon of lemon zest going in.
That's 1 tablespoon?
Yep, that was 1 tablespoon.
Right.
That was quite packed in there. And then, I gotta get my...
It never hurts to put more lemon anyway.
No, and we're gonna make sure we're well covered here. That's a good 1 tablespoon, and I want 1 more. Oh, that's gonna be so good. And we're gonna mix that all up. And as you mix that garlic paste in there, this starts to actually, you can see it starts to almost solidify a little bit. Everything's getting a little stiff, and that's exactly what we want to have happen. See how that looks? See how that does?
Oh, yeah.
It's really pretty cool.
That's because of the garlic?
The garlic, I think, and the lemon, I think, is doing something. I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I just know that it's working like it's supposed to. Okay, and then the last thing to go in here is some parsley. And we want that finely chopped. And it's going to be our mixture, and we're going to pour it over the shrimp. And then we're going to make sure they're all coated nicely. And then this will be added to the orzo mixture when we're ready to cook the shrimp at the very last. And then everything is done. So about 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley here. And honestly, you can do the stems and everything else. This works out great. Love it. We've got 2 cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, right.
Everything's happening around us. It's great. This is like a restaurant. We're professionals.
Tell you, my sister-in-laws are amazing.
They're
cooks.
good cooks. They're wonderful
Yes, they
cooks.
are.
Oh my Lord.
And their husbands really appreciate their cooking.
Yes. And neither one of their husbands cook very much.
No,
but they
that's
do.
why
They have
they
other
cook.
skill sets. They have much other skill sets. Oh
What,
well,
their
I don't
husbands, you
know.
mean?
I'll just let you figure that out.
Oh.
All right, there it is. And so we're going to coat that just like that.
I know what they're good at. Tasting the food and telling them, "Hun, that was great."
Yeah, they do.
Well, and not always, "Hun, that's great," but they seem to enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I think we're good to go. Okay, so now the orzo is ready. It's been 10 minutes. And what you want to do is you want to put your shrimp on in really a single layer, if you can, on top of the orzo. And just sort of like this. We still got the heat on.
So it steams it, basically.
Steams it, yeah. We're going to cover it. We're going to let it cook for about 4 minutes. And it's just going to turn out beautiful.
You're salivating.
Oh, I am. It's terrible. It could have used maybe the bigger pot, but hey, it's going to be what it is.
No, it'll be perfect. You probably cook better when they're close.
Probably. And then take the rest, by the way, and put it in here.
The rest of the juice?
Yeah. And again, I've got it on low heat, and cover it now, and go for about 4 minutes. I'm going to lower it even a little bit more. Go about 4 minutes. Okay, it's been 4 minutes or so, and oh, look at there. They're nice. They're looks like they're done, and we're just going to stir around here a little bit.
Yeah, steamed them perfect. Look at that.
Boy, I tell you, Jerry.
You do know what you're doing.
A little bit. Oh, they turned out beautiful. Yeah.
You're pretty surprised.
I'm always surprised.
Yeah, I know, every time. Wow, it turned out.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to stick these asparagus back in quick.
Okay.
Keep them warm.
Just
You
to
turned
keep
it off,
them
right?
warm.
Yep, it's off.
There we go.
And I believe this is just right. I'm going to give that, I actually am going to give it, I see a little opaqueness that I want to go away. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, just about 2 minutes, and then we're going to be set. Everything's just about ready, and I'm going to garnish this thing with some capers. Just take your caper thing and drain them. I need about 2 tablespoons of capers. There they are in there. I'm going to put some chives down on it, and I chop those down pretty nicely. And I'm even going to add both lemon zest and a little bit of some parsley too, and just freshen it up, looking nice here.
That noise over there is Sharon
Getting some ice for us, yeah. No, it's fine, it's great. And parsley, just take some like this and get it tight, and then just chop that down. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to dump it in here like this. And here's the chives. Oh, it looks so good. And I want some of the I want some of the parsley, and then I want some of the capers all over.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, look at there. And again, it's a 20 or 30 minute meal when you don't have other cooks in the place. And let me do this. Watch this. Take a little bit of your lemon and my zester right here, and just do a little bit more zest on there, and that is just going to be so good with the asparagus. This is a perfect meal. You got the orzo.
Yeah, the asparagus is perfect.
There we go, and that's done. There's it is.
All right.
So I'm gonna carry it over here.
Well, now we're gonna try it too.
go. It's an after action report. Oh, there we go. I gotta hold it out. Oh, this is bad light. No, it's okay. This is my brother Mike. How was the meal that I cooked for you tonight?
It was wonderful.
Was it?
It was very good.
Good.
I love shrimp to begin with.
Yes.
The taste was,
This was outstanding.
zesty.
This is an easy, quick,
Yeah.
zesty.
Yeah.
What else? It
Good.
was just good meal. Lemony. Oh, it was also good stuff. Yeah.
Very good.
So anyhow, good. Anyhow, you want to give me a kiss on the cheek like a brotherly love
I
thing?
don't think so.
No. Okay. All
Not
right.
in this life
All
or
right.
the next.
All right. See you next time. Bye bye.